Can you really get a free roof from your roofer? How about this one? Do you really have to replace your roof after a hailstorm? In this video, I'm going to break down 7 roofing myths that homeowners still believe that could end up costing you thousands of dollars, making you vulnerable to scams, or causing you to file a claim that you don't need to file. Now, all of these drive me crazy, but there's one in particular that just really bugs me. But myth number 7 is that the number of years that's designated on the shingle package indicates how long your shingle is going to last. So maybe your roofing salesman tells you, oh, this is a 30-year shingle, or this is a lifetime shingle. And you think, okay, so my roof is going to last 30 years, or my roof is going to last a lifetime. Honestly, those numbers are just marketing terms. They don't really tell you how long your roof is going to last. A 30-year shingle or even a lifetime shingle might only last you 15 to 20 years. And that's even without there being a storm in your area. Once you throw storms in, whether it's hail or high wind, all bets are off for how long your roof is going to last. Do you know what actually determines how long your shingle is going to last? The climate where you live, how much sun exposure your roof gets, whether you get any damaging storms, how well your attic is ventilated, and the quality of the installation, and the quality of the product that got installed. Where we are, we get a lot of intense sun as well as a lot of hailstorms, damaging hailstorms. So a typical roof here might only last 12 to 18 years. Sometimes the average roof lifespan here is 7 years. So don't choose a shingle based on the year designation on the package. Just ask your roofer how long you can realistically expect your roof to last in your area. Myth number 6, higher price materials always means you're going to get a better roof. A lot of homeowners think that if they're paying more, they're automatically going to get better quality. And a lot of roofers like to upsell you to higher price materials based on that assumption. But here's the truth. Higher price doesn't always automatically mean higher performance. Like our favorite shingle, the Certainty Northgate, we've installed hundreds of roofs with that product, and we've seen that hold up very well to high wind and hail. But we've also installed a lot of premium asphalt shingles that are a lot more expensive, and they haven't held up nearly as well. I've seen homeowners pay thousands of dollars to upgrade their roof to a premium roofing material like stone-coated steel, and then that product ends up not performing as well as like an impact-resistant asphalt shingle. So those materials might look great at first, but not perform as well when there's a damaging storm or some other event like that. So don't just assume that if the product costs more, it's going to actually protect your house better. Honestly, the best roof is the one that's installed correctly with good materials that are proven to perform well in the climate where you live, not necessarily the most expensive material. Myth number 5, you always have to replace your roof after a hailstorm. Because after a hailstorm, roofers are going to be knocking on your door telling you that you've got to replace your roof, you've got to file an insurance claim because there was hail damage. Sometimes they'll even tell you, I can see damage from the ground. Sometimes that's true, but boy, does that take a massive hailstorm. But here's the truth. Not all hailstorms mean you need a new roof. We inspect roofs all the time after hailstorms. Some of them have damage. Some of them, the damage is very minor and very superficial. Nowhere near enough for an insurance company to actually approve a claim. The next problem is that some roofers might convince you to file a claim even if the damage is so minor. Your roof could last years and years even in that condition. In fact, there's a roof in this neighborhood not far from here that is at least 23 years old. How do I know that? Because the shingle that's on it was discontinued right after the year 2000. But it's still on there, it's still going strong, and it has gone through, in this area, at least 5 major hailstorms. Now, the condition of the roof might be pretty beat up, but the fact that the shingle is still on there indicates that it's still performing. And so if you end up filing a claim for damage that really doesn't cause your roof to need to be replaced, then you're going to end up paying a deductible. You're going to have a claim on your record, and that deductible payment out of your pocket. Now we're seeing deductibles around $4,000 or $5,000, which is more the norm. Some of them are way higher than that, and that has to come out of your pocket. And that's why this one bugs me so much, because we're in this situation where we're circling the drain when it comes to getting and being able to afford homeowners insurance. Roofers convince homeowners to file claims that they don't really need to file, or insurance companies threaten to drop your coverage if you don't file a claim to get your roof replaced. And then insurance companies turn around and jack up your rates because so many claims are being filed. It's just a vicious, vicious cycle. Myth number 4 is that you have to use the roofer that your insurance company recommends to you. So it might be that your insurance adjuster comes out, hands you a piece of paper with a list of their preferred contractors, or tells you about a roofer that they work with all the time. And you end up thinking, well, this roofer must be good because my insurance company is recommending them. Not necessarily. Think about this. Your insurance company does not work for you when it comes to choosing a roofer. Who do they work for? They work for themselves. And the reason that those roofers are the preferred roofers, honestly, it's because they prefer them, because those roofers will do the work for practically nothing, or they'll do the work for whatever the insurance company says it should cost to replace that roof. So if the claim amount is really low and it's missing things out of the scope of work, that roofer is not going to fight the insurance company to try to get the things added to the claim that need to be added. So here's what you need to understand. You can choose whatever roofing contractor you want, unless the policy that you have with the insurance company specifically states that you have to use their roofer. So if you have an adjuster or a claim representative giving you a list of preferred contractors telling you to use one of them, read your policy and find out if you are legally required to do that. This is your house. You're going to have to live with that roof for however long you're there. As long as the roof lasts, maybe the next 15, 20, or 30 years, your insurance company doesn't have to live with that roof. Heck, they're probably going to drop you in the next couple of years anyway. All right, this one's probably the most controversial, and this is the one that roofers hate when I bring it up. But it's the myth that you have to give your roofing contractor your insurance claim document. If you tell a roofer that you've already filed an insurance claim, then one of the first questions he might ask you is, can I get your insurance claim document? And you might be thinking, well, he probably needs that in order to give me a quote, right? Wrong. Here's kind of what's going on. It could be that the roofer just doesn't want to put in the work to measure the roof and spend the time writing up the estimate only to have you choose a different roofer. He just wants to see what the insurance company is paying so he can tell you either, well, we'll go ahead and do it for whatever the insurance claim is. That way he doesn't have to compete with other roofers. Or he's trying to figure out if he needs to supplement the claim to get more money added into the claim. But if he's just simply telling you that he'll do it for whatever the insurance claim amount is, what work is he proposing to do on your roof? You don't know, because he hasn't given you a scope of work. You don't know what he's replacing. You don't know what he's not replacing. And when the work is all done, you might discover, or you might not discover, that there were things in the claim that he didn't actually do on your roof. For example, like replacing flashings, replacing certain accessories. That's why you want to see his scope of work with his price associated with it. Then, once you have that, the two of you can sit down and compare that with your insurance claim to find out, are there things missing from the insurance claim? Are the dollar amounts in the insurance claim enough to pay for the work that needs to be done? Because a professional roofer, a good roofer, is going to give you a scope of work and an estimate for the work he knows that your roof needs to put you back to pre-loss condition, meet code, and meet manufacturer's specs. And so if you end up with a roofer who tells you that he is not going to give you a written quote and that he just requires you to give him the insurance claim, find a different roofer. Move on. Myth number 2. Roofers are insurance claim specialists. They're not. An area where storms are common, whether it's hailstorms or tornadoes or hurricanes, you're going to see roofers advertising themselves as insurance claim specialists. Now, can a roofer work with your insurance company regarding your claim? Sure. Can they handle communicating with your insurance company about your claim? Sure. But here's the problem. In many states, it's actually illegal for a roofer to call himself an insurance claim specialist. But why is that? It's because they're not insurance claim specialists. They don't know how to read and interpret policy. They don't know the legal ramifications of the contract you have with your insurance company. And in a lot of states, there's laws called UPPA laws. These laws specifically prohibit contractors from negotiating with your insurance company, reading and interpreting your policy, or representing you in disputes with your insurance company. Only licensed public adjusters or attorneys are legally allowed to do that. Your roofer can't do that. So when a roofer says that he's an insurance claim specialist, what he's really saying is that he thinks that he can get your insurance company to increase your claim amount. That's really what he's bragging about when he calls himself an insurance claim specialist. So if you need somebody to negotiate your claim, then hire a public adjuster or an attorney, not a roofer. You hire the roofer to do the roof, and that's all. All right, here's the real big one. Myth number one, your roofer can get you a free roof. Why do people believe this? It's because the roofers tell them that they can. And how do they promise to give the homeowner a free roof? It's by waiving or paying their insurance deductible. So how does this happen? Well, you meet with a roofer and he tells you, don't worry about your deductible. We've got that covered for you. We've got a program that will waive your deductible, or we've got a program that'll pay your deductible. Sounds like a great deal, right? It's not. It's actually insurance fraud, and it's against the law in most states. And why is that? Well, because that's written into the contract that you have with your insurance company. When you got your insurance coverage from that company, the contract specifically states that the deductible is your share of the cost of any repairs. So let me repeat that. It's in your contract with your insurance company that you will pay your deductible. So if your roofer is going to pay or waive your deductible, the only way that that can work is if he lies to your insurance company about what it is that he's charging you. If you need to understand how he does that, well, then watch that video right up there. And here's the part that you really need to understand. If you agree with your roofer that he's going to pay or waive your deductible, then it's not just the roofing contractor that's committing insurance fraud. It's you and the roofing contractor colluding to defraud your insurance company and break the law. So it can sound really tempting to get that free roof by having your roofer pay the deductible. But the reality is the roofer is going to make that money up somewhere else. He's not going to just give away that amount of profit out of his business. So to find out how it is that roofers cut corners to make up the money to pay your deductible, well, watch that video up there. So if a roofer ever tells you that he's going to pay your deductible for you, or waive your deductible, or give you some sort of rebate to help you with your deductible, or give you a referral reward for putting a sign in your yard to help you pay your deductible, don't sign that roofer's contract. The deductible is your responsibility, period. There's no getting out of that. Any roofer who tells you otherwise is either lying to you or he's just ignorant of the law. Either way, you don't want that roofer doing your roof. Now, I think you should watch this video right here. It's amazing. And if you want to just geek out on a bunch of fascinating roofing information, watch that playlist down there.